Can you give us more of a detailed picture of the industry right now, currently, and the market dynamics?
See, this kidswear industry per se is one of the largest, segment in the fashion industry. So the market dynamics are as such that at this point of time, post-COVID, the whole dynamics of the industry has changed. It has gone completely changed. Now India is more digitalized, the UPI adoption, the GST inclusion, and the smartphone in every hand, the cheapest rate of data in the world, internet penetration, has all evolved the whole industry.
So how has COVID affected your industry, this industry?
I think COVID has come as a blessing in disguise for KidCity and in general, even the kidswear market as on broader spectrum. India has gone notches higher in digital adoption in quick span of time. And India is different from pre-COVID to post-COVID era definitely.
Hi, good evening, and we have with us Jay Varma, the co-founder and CEO of KidCity, and Mayank Varma, the COO and co-founder of KidCity. How are you all doing? How was your Diwali?
Yeah, we are doing great. In fact, we had a wonderful Diwali, and now we are looking for more firecracker in the business in the days to come.
I'm sure that's gonna happen. So, do you want to talk before we get into the nitty-gritty of your the market, the industry, the business? Do you want to talk about your career, your journey?
Yeah, I begin with my journey first.
Yeah.
So, my name is Jay Varma. I'm in this line of business for last 35 years. Primarily, I have worked in different verticals of kidswear industry like retail, wholesale, manufacturing, and exports. So over a period of time, I have gathered a lot of experience and expertise in this field. So I wanted to take it forward to the KidCity. Apart from handling my own business, I am the Secretary of India Garment Manufacturers and Exporters Body. So there also I have got great exposure interacting with a lot of people in the industry, be it manufacturers or retailers, solving their problems, understanding the ecosystem, nitty-gritties and all. So this entire, last 35 years of career and learning, so I have gathered them all and want to give it a new shape, new try with the KidCity.
That is great to hear. And Mayank, what about your journey?
So my journey was basically, I did my BBA from Symbiosis University in Pune. That was basically from 2012 to 2016. And 2017, I came back to Calcutta and I joined my family business, which we were into kidswear manufacturing itself. And during my 2.5 year of stint in my working with my father, under my father, I had realized a lot of issues and hurdles that I was facing as a manufacturer. As a young entrepreneur who's joining a traditional business, a manufacturing business, I saw a lot of hurdles and I had addressed with him. And I told him that, we need to fix these issues, the core issues and fundamental issues. So he said, what do you have in mind? And then that's exactly when we both sat down and we thought of giving ourselves and the industry a solution digitally to fix and overcome the problems.
Great. So my next question here would be, what led to KidCity?
See, my dad migrated from a small village in Rajasthan and started his careers into the small kidswear retail shop in Kolkata. So gradually, he also began his new venture into manufacturing unit. And ever since when I joined the business, my story was as good as my story. I also joined my family business, but that was 35 years ago. So I got into this retail shop, then I thought of starting the manufacturing. And with the grace of God, we ventured into different vertical of the same industry. So during the COVID lockdown, the whole idea got, germinated actually. We had a lot of time, the entire family used to sit down together and ponder over the process and progress of the industry and how the impact of such calamity can be minimized in the future. So during this course of discussion only, the seeds and the idea behind the KidCity was formally formulated actually. So once we got all convinced that we start analyzing and researching with the fellow members that those days, the June was the only source of connecting people. So we start analyzing, discussing, and pondering over the different side of the industry. What are the problem, whether they are centric to us, or whether the problem are for everyone in common in nature. So we soon realized that this industry is facing a lot of problems, and they are inherited problem going on for last 75 years, and they need to be resolved. So the whole idea of KidCity, came up, and we began start working on this. The primary thing is in the manufacturing sector in India now, especially in the kidswear industry, it's very unorganized, and there is hardly any tech integration at any level whatsoever. And most important thing, you will be surprised to know there are only 8 to 9 production hub in this country, and they are catering to close to a market which has got 400 million kids to feed. And there are more than 17 lakh retail stores spread over every hook and corner of the country. So during the course of discussion, we realized that connectivity and the accessibility is one of the major problem which is pulling down the industry from growing in a required manner. So after all the the nitty-gritty were finalized, and then this is how the India's only KidCity vertical is being born.
Okay, so I think we are already getting into the industry sector now, and that you just mentioned it. Can you give us more of a detailed a picture of the industry right now currently and the market dynamics?
See, this kidswear industry per se is one of the largest segment in the fashion industry, because India is a young country. We have 400 million kids, and with the 400 million kids, we become one of the largest consumer market for kidswear in the world. So the market dynamics are as such that at this point of time, post-COVID, the whole dynamics of the industry has changed. It has gone completely changed. Now India is more digitalized, the UPI adoption, the GST inclusion, and the smartphone in every hand, the cheapest rate of data in the world, internet penetration, has all evolved the whole industry. These all factors has combined helping the industry to grow in the faster pace. Earlier, there used to be the large families where the elder sibling used to wear younger sibling used to wear the clothing of elder sibling. But now the families are very nuclear, small families. So the spend on the children are much more than the previous years. And it is increasing day in out of. So this industry is going to have a very golden time in the years to come.
So you mentioned COVID. I was going to ask you this later, but let's get into it. What are the impacts of COVID? COVID has impacted every sector, every industry, every family, be it personal, be it economic. So how has COVID affected your, the industry, this industry?
I think COVID has come as a blessing in disguise for KidCity and in general, even the kidswear market as on broader spectrum. India has gone notches higher in digital adoption in quick span of time. And India is different from pre-COVID to post-COVID era definitely, because post-COVID country is more digitally active and ready to accept online as a preferred way of doing business, even in the sense of procurement, in the sense of selling as well. And in the sense of communication, we all know how we adopted to the digital means more than the physical means. So we have gone, I think, 20 or 30 years forward and ahead in time when it comes to digital adoption. And thanks to certain telecom market players as well, such as the Jio coming in picture, Airtel coming in picture with their new 4G, 5G plans and the connectivity. I think it is a direct connection when it comes to connecting people in the telecom sector.
Let's get into more about the industry part. So do you have an expansion plan outside India?
See, at present, we have just begun around 6 months back. So we'll be focusing for the next couple of years only in the Indian market. And this is, as I said, this is a pretty large market. After a couple of years, we will definitely be planning to venture into the neighboring country like Bangladesh, Nepal, Bhutan, Sri Lanka, and the Middle East countries. But in the first 3 years, the focus is solely on the kidswear on the country, on the Indian market only.
Okay, and so you have an expansion plan. So, how do you think the Indian market is different from the other countries?
See, if you take the size of the Indian market, then Indian market is equivalent to the market across the, our neighborhood. We being the largest market in the segment. And as far as the taste, you see, the garment is all about the fast fashion. The taste, the size, the fit, that is the primary thing. The fashion industry works on the size and fit. And in the South Asian, all countries, including the Middle East, the body structure of the people are same, So, and the taste, the requirement is also same. The festivity and all these things are very common culture and all those things. So it will be easy to first venture into the neighboring country, then think of other way around.
What are the key driving factors of this industry?
I think in tier 2 and tier 3 towns of the country, parents have definitely become very image conscious thanks to the social media. The population growth of 51 child per minute as per data recorded means that 2.7 crore new birth children are in India every year. Then the per capita income growth, then the recession-free industry, because it is a necessity and not a luxury. A child outgrows the garment every 6 to 9 months, which requires fresh purchase. And India is consistently getting digitalized, thus the bright future lies ahead for us to grow and scale up.
So we are talking about the consumers. So what do you think are the factors that will draw the consumers towards your services? And here you can also talk about the services and products you provide.
Absolutely. So the retailers are drawn towards the ease of product availability, how easily it is reachable to them, then fair pricing, wide range of varieties, and doorstep delivery, less pressure of physical stock holding, and easy credit. So small retailers are always under cash flow crunch because their capital is blocked into stocks that they keep in the store. And small order fulfillment process provided by KidCity will definitely ease the business and issue of help them grow in a better way. Our fundamental mantra for the retailer, we keep telling them when we speak to them in person, is that kharido utna, chaho jitna, and kharido tab, chaho jab. And on the other side, manufacturers are provided with pan-India market network without any cost and dependency of the middleman, which is impossible otherwise. And we definitely know like business is all about managing risk. So we have also resolved the problem of dealing with multitude of middlemen for the expansion. Through KidCity, we are telling the brands to not deal with 500 distributors, rather get directly connected to 50,000 retailers through our application.
So I think we are almost getting into that part where we can talk about the challenges that are faced by the consumers in this industry.
Challenges faced by the customers. See, our customers are the retailers, and one of the big challenge is faced by us that we are not from the house of Tata. So building trust is the primary factor, Building trust is one of the biggest challenge which we have in hand now. So, and it will take its own slow time, Once the people knows about the KidCity, they come on board. The first thing they face that ye log kaun hai, if I pay online, whether I will get goods or not, because there are a lot of scams and things are going on. So building trust is one of the biggest challenge. We are a new player, so we will definitely take some more time so that buyer feel comfortable and confident of us. And once he buys goods, once he gives us a try and he is satisfied with the couple of dealing, then he's good forever. Earlier, we thought that behavioral change will be one of the biggest challenge. But I don't think it is so in the market now. This post-COVID last couple of years has changed the whole game. People have now more adaptive to digital means, more, they are more inclined to go online. So that challenge is mitigated in the process of time. Building trust is the only challenge which definitely we will have to tackle in the couple of years.
So what are the steps that you have taken or are thinking to take to overcome this challenge?
See, what in our business model we have adopted a process called phygital model. It's not only the online process. We will be hiring a lot of trained young GSS, that's called ground sales and support staff. We call them GSS in fact. So the GSS will be hired across the country and they will be like the foot on the ground who will provide the last mile service to the retailer. So in each of the area which we are trying to quantify, there will be people who will be going to the shop, help them in the acquisition process, train them how to purchase online, and then give them the post delivery services. So this is going to help us a lot. So this this kind of GSS model put on the ground will mitigate the entire challenges which we are thinking will be the biggest one.
And so there are many players in the industry, right? There are other companies, other startups who are coming on. So how do your services and how do the steps, how are the steps that you are taking different from these companies?
See, being from the industry who has faced and experienced the problem, we have experienced it firsthand. So we have come up with a very win-win-win solution for every stakeholder. We are different in percent that we are the only vertical B2B portal in the country who is dealing into kidswear at present. And it's like a different experience. You can create the needful experience, UI and UX for the people, and that the retailers don't have to swim in the ocean to catch a fish. Most of the other B2B portals are dealing into multi-product, and we stand out as a specialist. It's a very simple thing. अगर हमें कोई छोटी मोटी problem, we will go to a general physician. But if we need expert advice, we'll go to expert. So we are like an expert, and so there is no comparison with other B2B player in the market.
That's great. And so how has the market evolved? I think you have talked about it about this a bit a while ago. How has the market evolved, and what are the new trends that are coming up in the market?
So basically, at the cost of repetition, the evolution of the market in the last couple of years is based on greater aspirations, faster digitalization, adoption of UPI as a method of easy payments, and implementation of GST. In our times, siblings used to wear clothes of elders, but now small and nuclear family system has led to the more pampering of a child. That means like more spending on the kids. Parents can go ahead with wearing 3-4 shirts a year, but they would like their kids to keep wearing something new 3 times a day, probably. Breakfast something else, lunch something else, dinner something else. In fact, to a certain extent, parents are making the kids wear something to sleep also. So an immense amount of pampering has begun. And internet has made people look more conscious. We get aspirations from celebrity kids, what are they are wearing or what trend are they following, or they are creating themselves. So acceptance of digital medium for the procurement will act as a fuel to fire in our growth story.
So what are the goals of your company in the next 3 years?
The goal is to connect around 5,400 brands with about 17 lakh retailers through the KidCity platform. The milestone which we have set for ourselves for the next 3 years is onboarding 2 lakh retailers with about 1,400 brands. We have ambitious targets of reaching about 1,000 crores of yearly revenue in the next 3 years of time. And our final positioning will be to go to company for the kidswear solution. We desire to be a platform which is desirable for the brands to connect with us for all kinds of solutions that they require to sell their products.
So we are at the end of our interview, and I would like to ask that what is the advice you want to give to other entrepreneurs or other people who are planning to begin a startup?
I think my co-founder would be the right person to answer this.
Yeah.
Hey, Sivantika, I would like to say that for every new entrepreneur, the budding entrepreneur, the first thing is to make your passion your profession. Unless you feel passionately about something which you are doing, there is no point doing it. At the end of the day, you will feel bored and get out of the system. And another thing is to keep exploring the new ideas, as we are getting more digitalized, as the internet has become more open. So the new ideas will keep coming, but before venturing into any new idea, you first have to do the deep dive into the category which you are going to cater. Learn the fine detailing of the industry, like what Mayank has done and I have tried to do. that we knew industry in and out. So it's very easy for us to venture into it and scale it up. But for the newcomer to understand the industry, to understand it's very difficult. So my advice will always be that keep exploring the ideas, but before you venture into something big, do a deep dive, learn about it, learn the fine prints of the whole thing. Every fine detail you should know before getting into the business model. And secondly, I take personally myself at the age of 54, I take great inspiration from Harland Sanders of KFC. He started his career at the age of 62. So I started at the age of 52, 53, and people laugh at me, "Bhai, ye to budhape ki age hai. Why trying something new? It's time to go in a rest mode, I must be looking for some award in the Rishikesh, but I started this venture. So I act as an empty car, and Mayank is acting as a fuel to fire. So the experience part doesn't work well actually. The experience need the power to push it. And thankfully my co-founder Mayank is there as a power. So all the people out there who wants to start something new, please make your passion your profession. It's a very easy game for all.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much. It was great talking to you both, and thank you for interviewing with us.